homeless.
Oh, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? Hey, bro. I'm not homeless anymore, bro. I found me a house. I don't go by that name no more, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Elias, man. I just go by my middle name. Like, I don't even rap no more, bro. Look, I got grays all in my beard. Like, I leave that to the young jits in my neighborhood, bro. I don't even rap no more, bro.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
You don't rap anymore?
Nah, bro. Man. Yeah, I don't rap no more, bro.
Okay.
I'm doing other things now, writing books and just, serving the community. And then I freestyle sometimes, but, I don't know. I just kind of leave it to my kids and other kids.
Okay. All right. But for old time's sake, I mean, hey, it's just us. Why don't maybe just give me just a little something?
Some money? Or?
No.
No.
Okay.
Thought you want to say money, bro. Like.
No, just if you want to spit some rhymes.
Okay.
You got something?
Just
for old time's sake.
I think I still have something. I don't know. Let me see.
All right.
It's a song called "Narrow Minds," and let me see. Let me see. I'm a fumble probably. I haven't did this in years, bro. But let's see.
Okay. I'm feeling it already.
Yeah, this beat was dope, man. I like this beat.
Yeah,
did a video for it.
Really?
Yeah, man. Did a video for it. You can check it out on YouTube.
Okay.
But it's old stuff. Just give us narrow minds.
Yeah. Okay.
Shine so we can shine for Christ. We need the Father of lights.
To do like some movements in here?
They can't do that move, man. That's kind of You just kind of just chill out.
I just kind of do the hitch thing.
Yeah.
Do like this.
Hey, yeah, rock to the side.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
I'm a bond slave. I've been regenerated. New nature, new thoughts. Consecrated, I'm constantly praying like King David, the man of God, panting by that water streams. I call it dear living, I'm chasing his heart. Yes, this road is hard. My telescope is on the sun, forget them little stars. Pluto, Jupiter, demons, and even beauty, Mars. That's enough, man.
All right. Hey, that was good. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It seems like you got a crowd there.
Yeah, that's my kids, man. They're showing grace to dad. You know what I'm saying? Back then, they're going to probably laugh at me later, but it's my kids. They're going to show daddy grace, man.
That was good. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you mind if I try a little something?
Try what? You going to breakdance or something?
No.
I know you're super dope in comedy. You about to tell a joke right now, or what you going to do?
No, I was thinking about maybe I could do a little rap.
I know you was a DJ. Hey, that's right. You did rap, man. Let me see what you could do.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a beat. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How about this? Yeah. There you go.
I could be a hype man.
Yeah. You be the hype man. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Now here I am in the studio. Yo, I'm about to get busy, about to get my flow. Yo, I'm standing right here with my bro. So why don't we get it started? Just the Light Talk Show.
Yo. Okay. You can just turn it down.
How was that?
That was pretty good, man. I'm gonna let you keep your hood card, but you did pretty good, man. Keep working on them bars, bro. Good. Thank you, though. Thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you.
All right.
It's time to have some fun. Light Talk with Sam Beman. We got skits and interviews. We got everything but the blues. It's on. Light Talk is on. Light Talk with Sam Beman.
Hello everyone, it's that time again. That's right, it's time for Light Talk. I'm your host, Sam Beman, also known as DJ Smooth B to some people out there. You're probably like, wait a minute, hold on, this guy's a DJ, he's also a comedian, and he's a talk show host, and he's an actor. I've also been accused of being a plumber, an electrician. It's like the list just goes on. But hey, here today, we've got some special guests in the studio, as well as, well, we're going to check in with my good friend Mike Hickman later on. But first up, coming up in just a moment, we'll have Baron Elias Clafe. And we're going to be talking about more of a heavy subject on a light show. That's right, Light Talk is meant to be light humor and fun, but every now and then we have to talk about something that's a little bit heavier, but we want to be able to inspire and encourage through the subject matter. So I hope that you're ready. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Hi there, it's me, Shopping Cart Hunter, and I found another endangered species. I'm here at the Goodwill, and you won't believe it, mate, but I see right over there, there's a
Goodwill Blue. Hold on, let me let you take a look here. Look at her. She's all scared and alone. She's out there waiting for someone to take her back. I think it's time for me to step in and save this poor cart and put her back where she belongs. I'll make a break for it now. Oh, there she is, mate. It's okay, little fella. I got you. Wait, I gotta be very careful. Make sure her wheels are okay. All right, I think she can make it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. She's gonna be good, mate. I believe I can save this one. I'm gonna take her back where she belongs and put her in a natural habitat. Okay, we've made it back. I'm going to put her safely in her home. There she goes. All right. You're fitting quite nicely back there. I feel real good about that. Another cart is saved. If you'd like to check out some more of my videos, go to sambeman.com. You're watching The Shopping Cart Hunter.
And we're back. Hey, that is a fun clip. I actually got this idea one day when I was driving down the road and I saw a shopping cart on the side of the road. Of course, we've shown one of those clips before, but this particular one, I was at the Goodwill and then I got inspired to do another one. But usually when I'm doing these videos, it's me with my phone and I'm like this and I'm holding a cart and people are like, this guy is crazy. What's wrong with him? Yeah, but hey, it's all for entertainment, right? And for your viewing pleasure. All right, so I want to go ahead and introduce my first guest today. He is author, but he was also a rapper when I first met him. Please welcome Mr. Elias Clave.
What's going on, bro? Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Now, I said author, you're also a speaker.
Yeah, speaker, yep, itinerary speaker, yep.
You know, I'll never forget when you first came on the show back 12 years ago. This was 2008. I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, 2008. And, you know, I think I might have seen you rap. It was on location, maybe over in South Columbus, maybe.
Yeah, probably
was it PJ's?
Yeah. It was probably in the project
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
It was doing some outreach or something.
And and I was like, man, I have to have you on the show. And I'll never forget, and you probably won't either, when you showed up to the studio. And in those days, we had a blue screen set.
Okay.
And you showed up
with a blue tee.
And a blue hat.
Yeah, man, you messed up my swag on that thing, bro.
I'm so sorry.
That's good though. You killed my pride.
Oh well, you know, I'm actually wearing blue in honor of that particular
thank
episode.
You, man.
You know,
see?
because I can
you
wear
redeemed it.
Yeah, I can wear it now,
Yeah.
but I apologize for not giving you the heads up. I remember saying like, man, if we do it this way, like you'll be like a floating head and arms with pants, you know,
like, be like a Mr. Potato Head or something. Yeah.
I was. And I just remember you were like, man, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Like luckily you had a t-shirt underneath.
Yeah, I just took it off. I think I had a red t-shirt on under that. Yeah.
And didn't you just have your hair? Didn't you just go?
Yeah, I had a hat. I think something. Yeah.
Because you were like, man, I'm wearing a hat because my hair.
Yeah, it was blue too. Like everything was just blue.
I know.
It's like, man, you messed up my whole game, bro. But it was good, man. I couldn't missed the opportunity, bro.
Well, I hope you don't mind, but we actually have. We have a clip of this.
Nah, we can't do that, bro.
If you don't mind, let's go to the Light Talk archives and.
You don't got none.
Oh yeah. I got something.
I don't think you got it, bro.
Yeah.
Man. Nope. Oh, look at that, bro. After this many years. Yeah, you can turn that off now, bro. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Nah, let me give all glory to God. It was still Christ-centered. Praise God for what He did, man. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Now I know that you don't rap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from what I understand. Sorry, I'm trying to find my words here. You actually are still encouraged to rap, though.
Yeah. My kids tell, Daddy, you need to still rap and all that. And yeah, people on my block, they tell me, man, you need to drop something, man. You still got a little flavor and all that. I was like, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Yeah. God, Lord is doing some other things, and so.
Well, I want to hear about some of those other things that you're doing. I tell you what, why don't we take a break? Cool. We'll come back in just a moment with we'll come back in just a moment with Elias Clave.
Be no more, man. We keeping it Christ-centered. We ain't rolling no drugs. We ain't smoking the bar. We ain't popping the slug. Nope. Yeah, we living for Christ. Yeah, we doing it right. And yo, He changing our lives. Yup. We ain't rolling on drugs, we ain't smoking the bug, we ain't popping the slug. Nope, nope, I ain't popping the slugs, we ain't pushing the drugs. But I'm on the block, man, I'm pushing the rock, man. I run the clock non-stop. It's about God's love, and I'm showing it to them thugs because he changed the thugs. The Bible calls that agape love, the only love you can get from the heavens above. And he sent his son to die for us. S-I-N-S. He replaced it with his gift and his righteousness. My life is no longer mine, yo, my life is his. No longer smoking the piff, no longer holding the fifth, no longer chasing the chicks. Nope, nope. We ain't chasing the chicks, nope. We ain't rolling on dogs, we ain't smoking the bug, we ain't popping the slugs, nope, nope. Yeah, we living for Christ, yeah, we doing it right, yeah, we changing our lives, yup, yup. We ain't rolling on dogs, we ain't smoking the bug, we ain't popping the slugs, nope, nope. Yeah, we living for
Check
Christ,
it out.
yeah, we doing it right, yeah, we changing our lives, yup, yup.
Hey, yo, my hope for y'all is that you get clean like some white tea and jeans. The devil's trying to get you hooked to sin like crack pipe to fiends. A kiss of ice cream, a girl's a mad green. I know you struggling, I know you trying to walk this out. I know you hurting, yo, but God is our purpose. That's why I'm spitting Christ all through these verses. Cause he's amazing, man, but not Spider-Man. He gives us energy and power like vitamins.
Hey, SB, I mean, homie, you trying to tell me God give you power like vitamins?
And we're back with my guest, Baron Elias Clafe.
Hey.
I keep wanting to call you homeless too.
Bro, I got me a house now,
I know,
bro.
I know.
I'm not homeless. So those who don't know, man, homeless was my rap name. It was actually standing for heaven over money, leading endangered souls saved. And the whole concept, we're dual citizens, heaven is our home, but yet, all that stuff. So I try to just play on words, but I don't go by that anymore.
Now I know we talked about this last time, but I want to hit on it again. So for everybody watching right now, tell them like where you're from.
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, yeah.
I moved here when I was a teenager, young kid, and my father passed when I was 10 years old. He died of cardiac arrest, and then my mom had people say, man, you got Brooklyn and you got Columbus, like two different worlds. My mom had an aunt and uncle for Benning here, and so they encouraged her and us to move after my father died, and that's how we got here.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, since you're from Brooklyn, now did you play a lot of games?
I used to.
Like street games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I used to play like dominoes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, cards and all that stuff.
Did you ever pop a water plug or anything like in the summertime?
Oh yeah. You used to have fire hydrants,
fire.
all that stuff. You get in trouble because you're supposed to go down to the precinct and get a little permission and all that stuff. Yeah. It was so hot in the city. We used to pop it open and just be in the streets and playing around and all that stuff. So yeah.
And of course, you still go back every now and then?
Yeah, I go back in the summertime. When my family members, one cousin gets married or a death in the family, just to go out and give me a slice of pizza on the block. Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah,
that's
man.
Cool. And of course, with your background too, that has really helped you reaching out to people in your own neighborhood, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, I live in South Columbus,
Okay.
Which people will call the bad part of town. And so, I love it there. I've been there. That's actually the only neighborhood I lived in since we moved to Columbus.
Okay.
So that's where the Lord found me. At like 22, 23 years old. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. And so, the Lord found me in my back room, and I was living together with my girlfriend at the time and just living a crazy life, man. And I opened the Bible that her grandmother had gave her before she died. Her grandmother died of cancer, and I open it, and I read the wages of sin is death in Romans chapter 6, and I believe that's when the Lord really called me, man, to himself. And then I always had the talent, for hip hop, but the Lord was like, now I want to use you as an urban missionary to go back into your context to preach Christ to those in the music industry. And all
Was that a tough transition? Like doing music like hip hop a certain way, and because I'm sure that you probably talked and acted.
Yeah. It was a lot of cussing.
Yeah.
A lot of cussing and pride and it was actually because even when I first got saved, I had kind of put the music down for a while because I was like, man, I don't know what to do.
Like you can't
Christian
do
rap, and my associate pastor at the time, he was giving me CDs with like Flame and the Truth and Cross Movement. And at first I was like, it's cool, man. And I was still scared because I thought like in one of my bars I'll curse or something.
Yeah.
It's like, and one of my homeboys was like, nah, bro, like just rap, bro. Just be you. The Holy Spirit, will help you. And so, yeah, it was a pretty cool transition, just learning and how to format my words and, writing down scripture and just kind of trying to bring like a biblical worldview to the culture.
And now you're bringing another biblical worldview to the culture, still through writing, but not in raps.
Through books. Through books. I'm also working on some what we call gospel tracts.
Okay.
Targeted to the urban community. I like to say biblical truth in the heart language of the people.
Okay.
And so kind of with my target audience is just millennials and hip hop culture. Just trying to take the truths and the precious truths of the gospel and God's word and put it in the heart language where people can understand it.
And your latest book?
It's called Good Morning Joy: A Practical Theology of Joy for the Everyday Sufferer. Yeah.
And this comes from a perspective of suffering in your own life and what you've gone through. Because you talked about this just a moment ago. You mentioned that your father had passed away at an early age, and this is something that they projected would happen to you as well. Yeah.
So I was born with a severe heart condition. It's called TGA. Transposition of the great arteries. I had open heart surgery when I was a couple of months old, and it's dominated my life, all my life, even to this day. Man, I still suffer with it. So the whole book is, in the beginning, it's a bio of my life and how I was born and how I came to Christ, but it's also practical theology of how to have joy in the midst of suffering. We're living in a day and age, especially with the pandemic, with the coronavirus and death, and even in my hood, man, there's a lot of drug violence and murder, and how can somebody who has all this suffering and pain and loss, how can they still have joy? And I believe it's found in Jesus. Yeah. So man, it's hope people go pick it up and hope they're inspired by it.
How can they pick it up? Do I see Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. Okay. Yeah, it's on Amazon.com. Baron Elias Clafe. Right now it's on Kindle. If you have unlimited Kindle, it's free.
All right.
If you have Kindle, it's $2.99. Some of y'all spend more than that at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? You could get a latte and get my book and read it. And the dope thing about it, dope means, it doesn't mean drugs for those who do. You know what I mean? It's good, right?
Yeah.
So the dope thing about it is it's only 65 pages. And so you could sit down and do your Bible study and just right there, and you could finish probably like in an hour and a half.
Hey,
yeah, so
that's not bad.
Yeah, yep.
Well, is there anything you'd like to, I think we need to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment. But before that, anything you want to give to people watching?
Yeah, physical copies will come out soon too. We got some physical copies. A lot of people have been asking about physical copies, and so man, just please, and just when you go pick it up on Amazon, leave some review comments and just tell me what you think about it. And I would love to dialogue about the idea of suffering. I wrestle with a lot of ideas about death and suffering and eternity and afterlife, and these are questions that's happening in our world today.
That's right.
They're asking these questions, even in the culture. People are asking what happens after we die, and so I think it's really relevant to our time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Baron Elias Clave.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
No more homeless. Don't call me homeless.
Okay,
no
all right. No homeless. No homeless. Thank you so much for being on Light Talk again.
Thank you, brother.
It's always a pleasure having you in the studio.
Honor.
And we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment with our next guest. And we're back with our actors here, Casey and Don Terrius. We're going to be playing a little game called Flip the Script. So, guys, you know how this goes. Basically, Don Terrius will only be responding with a line from his script in this scene. And so we need a suggestion. We need to know who these guys are. Who are they? Astronauts. Okay, you guys are astronauts. And that's all you get. You're just astronauts. All right, so whenever you're ready, action.
It's pretty cool up here in space. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, especially with all the crazy training they had us do. But this is kind of fun, being weightless.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't say a lot, but when you do talk, you really seem to get it. I like that.
Come in.
Oh, I'm in, all right. I feel great in here. There's space out there. Look at those stars.
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, you can help me contact Mission Control after we chart all the stars we came out here to chart.
I know, I was joking. Will you have a drink?
I would love one, but we are in space, so we've got to eat that space food. But I got some space ice cream here.
Chocolate?
Oh, yeah, chocolate, Napoleon, strawberry, got all of them.
No, ma'am, cherry.
Oh, cherry. I have some strawberries, freeze-dried.
Cherry soda.
Okay, freeze-dried cherries. Okay, yeah, I got freeze-dried cherries.
No, ma'am, I stepped inside.
Yeah, we're both inside spaceship doing space stuff.
That's all right. I'll drop by later.
Oh, okay. You gonna go use the space bathroom or something? Maybe come back, talk to mission control after we chart some stars.
I didn't know that stars took up collections.
Yeah, just like preachers do.
It's the paper.
It is the paper. You did take a CAT scan before, like, coming up to space, right?
Oh,
you went through the
well.
routine CAT scan.
No. Oh, well. Now, let's see. No, I don't have a dime.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not the lady of the house. I'm her sister from Mississippi. I'm one of those poor relations you've heard about.
Very interesting. Learning a lot about you while we're stuck here in this spaceship.
Hey!
Floating around.
Hey! Could you give me a light?
Not in space, bro! No!
Scene. All right, guys. That was good. I like the way that you you played.
Cool astronaut.
Yeah. That was a good response there. Not in space. Absolutely not. Especially. Okay. Well, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. That was a lot of fun. All right, now we're going to go ahead and I want to check in with one of my friends out in Texas. This is comedian Mike Hickman. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hopefully my internet is good for you. It's a little sketchy out here. I live near a lake, and in Texas, if the wind blows wrong, it just blows the internet over the house, and it doesn't get into the house. So if I freeze up, then yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the only type of freezing we do in Texas is
that's the only
internet freeze.
Internet.
Yeah.
Well, and now you're in the studio.
Yeah. This is my little home studio here. It used to be a big old studio when I used to record bands and do a whole bunch of commercials, but now it's all scaled down. It's not open to the public. I just do like voiceover work. I do some acting stuff, and so we do a bunch of like self-taping and record my daughter's band and things like that, and my podcast.
And your podcast, that's right. And what is your podcast called again?
The Laugh Track Comedy Cast, and you, Sam, were one of my guests a year or two ago, a couple of years on there.
That's right.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you again for having me on the podcast. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasure. It's all mine.
No, it's me. It's mine.
So you do some acting. Now you were in. Yeah. You done background work? What have you done?
A ton of background work, a couple of features, then one lead. And so the lead was actually in a movie. It was the movie trailer, but I wasn't in the movie. But my wife and I were actually hired to do this British guy. His what was his name? Bothram P. Finklesworth. And he leads into this movie. So this is what showed about a couple of weeks before the movie showed on the big screen. It was called Ned Venture. I would come on, and I'm actually addressing crowds in the movie theaters and wanting them not to laugh. But it's a comedy movie.
Good.
And it was just hilarious. We filmed it in the state capitol here in Texas, and did some feature work, and then a lot of background and stuff like there's the Amazon show that comes out this summer. Called Panic, but also Fear the Walking Dead. You're also
in The Chosen, right?
In The Chosen, I did one or two episodes of The Chosen. So if you see the credits, it'd be like Merchant #1 or guy with basket #3.
Yeah, I think I fall in that category in a number of movies too.
But it was an honor to be on set though, and Dallas Jenkins is the director, who is the son of Jerry B. Jenkins, the Left Behind series, and so it was incredible just to be there and watch him work and be with so many other Christians go check out The Chosen. You can see it for free, season 1 right now. So
well, I will definitely have to check that out. And of course, for our audience, wherever they're watching, you'll have to check it out as well. But I wanted to just shift gears for just a moment, because I want to check in with you and see how you're doing. I know that, of course, you do comedy, but you also speak about something that that happened a little over 5 years ago. And so if you'd like to share with our viewers.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, many may not know, but a little over 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, our son died. He was actually killed by a friend of his at his birthday party when he was 17 years old. And without going into any details of that, you can imagine, the just the tragedy and the hard to get out of bed the next morning, hard to walk across the floor. What do you think? What do you do? You don't is this real? And it's a hard thing to nutshell, but what I tell at the end of my comedy shows for those is the healing and the renewal and about what God has done on the other side of tragedy, because we all go through things. The Bible says that we're going to have trouble, some mild, some medium, some catastrophic for many people. And when you know what it feels like to hurt yourself, then you can better help those that are coming behind you. And so we know that we're going to have trouble. So we had this tragedy that happened. And when we were wondering, what are we going to do? We know that we needed to keep our eyes on God. We needed to trust him, even though our feelings, we go through different things from anger. We go into sadness, we're grieving in so many different ways. But those are the times when you have to live out what you say that you believe about God. I believe God is our strength. I believe he is our healer. I believe that he is this. I believe he will hold us. He's the lifter of our head. He's the lover of our soul. And it's easy to say when things are really, really good. But then when it's like, God, I need to depend on you every way that I've said that I believe you. And he's absolutely true to who he is. And that's what I tell audiences at the end of many of my comedy shows when I can share some testimony, that if you smiled tonight, if you laughed, if you grinned, you receive some strength from the Lord, because the joy of the Lord is our strength. Because we didn't have any joy. We didn't have any happiness. We didn't have any strength, but suddenly it started coming. And then God says, now let me reveal some purpose. I know you're hurting, and I know this is a tragedy, and I know you've lost your son, but we see, he showed us that we actually had a gift for 17 years. God didn't take our son from us. How can you serve a God that would take your son from you? He let us have this gift for 17 years. We could have never had him at all, and that would have been the bigger tragedy. But God does things like this. Let me give you two quick examples. I was about a year afterwards, I was jogging down the road, and I was having a particularly hard day. And I was just missing him. I was like, God, I need to hear from you. And he knows in my ADD way he's got to show me some in a really unique way. I'm like, God, I need to hear from you. I need some comfort right now. So as I'm jogging, I see something shiny on the side of the road, right? So an ADD guy sees something shiny, I'm going to go over to it. I'm like, what is this? But I really felt drawn to it. And I was just about I was on the edge of tears. And actually, I think I was crying as I was jogging. And I'm sure cars passed and said, what's wrong with that guy? But I walk over and I see this thing shining on the side of the road. I'm like, what is this? And it was a car side mirror that had been knocked off and into the grass. I'm like, why am I looking at this? And the mirror part was reflecting up. And as I leaned over, I saw that it was reflecting the clouds. It was reflecting basically heaven. And I'm like, okay, that's neat. That's, where my son is. And that's where God dwells, and we're going to be there. Okay, I see that, God. But then he said, look down. And so I looked down at the bottom of the mirror, and it says, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. I was like, oh God, what a neat way to show me that it's just going to be a little while. We're just here for a little while. And he said, in my spirit, I heard, your son is alive just somewhere else right now. He's doing life in heaven right now, the same time you're doing life as y'all are both doing life. He's just somewhere else for a little while. Then you're going to get to go there. The best part of that is we'll be, face to face with Jesus too, all together. Likewise, I'm like, and then I started laughing and running home. I couldn't wait. I still have the mirror and showed my wife, and we just rejoiced together. And that's how God brings about healing. He's like, let me show you the bigger picture of some things. He fulfilled this purpose, and other people came to know Jesus because he died. My son would give a nod to that. I'm sure he'd be like, I would die if that's what it took for that guy. And so the first Christmas came about a couple of months later, and it's like, wow, I'm looking under the tree and I start crying because there's no gifts for him under the tree for the very first time. I see things for my wife, my daughter, for me. I'm like, there's no gifts for him. And I thought, how sad. And then God said, hey, Mike, guess what? What kind of things could you get him at Walmart that would compare to what he has right now? I'm like, wow. Then he said, on earth, you are celebrating the birthday of my son, Jesus. So I'm like, yeah. He goes, but your son is at the party. I'm like, wow. And so what was a tragedy Christmas became a rejoicing Christmas. Like, man, he's graduated. He just got there before us. I'm almost mad at him, but I'm of course not. But God reveals himself in these loving, cool ways, and he lets us wail and cry. There's times I'd go out in the field and I would wail. And when I tried to wonder, how am I going to do comedy again after this? I had to cancel a tour date that weekend with some friends of mine. It was Scott Smyer, who I think and Kristen Weber. Yeah. We were on the Texas comedy tour. I'm like, guys, there's no way. And they're like, we totally understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the first time back, it was a church in Gatesville, Texas. And I'm like, okay, I believe God wanted me to do this. It was just about 4 weeks later. And I said, I'm supposed to do this. I said, but at least it's a church I've been to before. And they have a good sound system. They have about 1,000 people in their crowd. They know my comedy. It's going to be great. So I get there and they said, oh, you're going to be on a flatbed trailer outside. It's after church. It's the middle of, it's summer or late fall, early fall. It's hot. So all the things that I was wanting to take comfort in that would get me through was ripped out. So the only thing I had to depend on was God to do what he wanted to do through me. And so I'm about to go up on stage. There's no monitor. There's nothing like that. And I do a lot of music in my set. And right before I went up, the youth pastor, who didn't know our story, said, hey, Mike, your son's in band, isn't he? I'm like, why would he say that right then? And I said, well, he was, but he died a few weeks ago. And he went, I'm so sorry. I said, no way, God's going to do something cool. And I saw his wife and my wife praying over there at the side. And I'll be brief with this because I know there's so much time, because there's so much we could say. But I walked up on stage just trusting God, you got me here for a purpose. And when I got up on stage, I flipped one of the main speakers around. There was my monitor. There was a field in front of the trailer, and the closest the people were in a tent about 50 yards away. And you knew in comedy, that the crowd has to be close.
That's right.
You lose them. Well, as soon as I got up there and started, all the students and teenagers who had seen me there before came and sat down right in front of the trailer and filled in that gap. And I tell you what, I didn't feel any heat. I didn't feel hot. I wasn't nervous. The comedy bits were just coming to me as if someone was doing them through me, which was true. And when I got off the stage, I went to my wife. I said, God showed me a lesson today. It really is him. When you're called by God to do something, right, how can we dare think it's us? Mm-hmm. We are the vessel, and we're willing, and we have our personalities and the way things come out. But it is God working in us. And he showed me Philippians 2:13 that says, for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Then he said, now you do know what it's like to hurt. You know how many people out there are hurting. They need to hear what healing and joy sounds like. And your testimony is going to be used. And so since that time, countless numbers of people said, well, it was just in Houston, not just a few months ago, someone said it was tonight. I did a comedy show and they said it was tonight that our daughter died 2 years ago. And we didn't even know if we could come tonight. And you gave your testimony about what God has done. That's what we needed to hear tonight. And so it's all about God. It really is. Our son is alive somewhere in heaven right now. We're going to get to see him again in a little while. In the meantime, we're just to move forward, press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called us heavenward. And it's his joy and his strength that will see us through. And that's how we can go on after tragedy. And there's so much more to say, but
Hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate you just checking in with me to be able to share your story, and hopefully for our viewers out there that are watching, they're getting a lot of inspiration from this. There are people that are struggling right now, and I know that they're watching and they're thinking about their current situation, or they're thinking of something that probably happened 5 years ago or 50 years ago. Like, we don't know, but I can just really appreciate you sharing your heart.
Absolutely.
You can feel the love and just how raw those emotions are, just like coming right through you, and the Lord's Spirit. So we just want to just thank you, and I want you guys to be able to check out Mike Hickman's comedy. Mike, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
The central hub is going to be MikeHickmanComedy.com. You can also, Facebook.com/Mike Hickman Comedy, Mike Hickman Comedy on Instagram, IGTV. Then my podcast, you can find that, just Laugh Track Comedy Cast. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, just look up Laugh Track Comedy Cast, and there's a lot of guests, and everybody, y'all can hear Sam on there also.
Yeah.
And but MikeHickmanComedy.com is the website, and from there you can bounce to anywhere.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, we're going to go ahead and cut for a break here. But thank you again for joining us on the show. Be sure to check out Mike Hickman Comedy, and let him know what you think about his testimony, about him sharing his story, his heart. Maybe you'd like to send him a nice letter of encouragement. But we'll be back in just a moment.
So for those of you who just came in, they are cheering for you. I mean, that was, yeah, you should, yeah, make some noise. What's your name, sir? Waving in the back. What's your name?
Ridge.
Ridge. Maybe that is awesome, Ridge. Okay. Ridge is like this. Yeah, I watched the royal wedding. Well, okay, Ridge. Man, we're so glad that you came tonight. We were just talking about you. So, oh man. So I was going to talk about Michael Jackson. I just have like the whole hour really is just about Michael Jackson. No, I'm kidding. But I started wondering, like, where did he get those noises, right? You know, like, I mean, when you think about it, he was recording his songs in a recording booth. So I started thinking, like, was there some sort of spider tickling him? You know? I mean, can't you see it? All right, Tia, go ahead. Hit that track. Put that man in the mirror. Tickle, tickle. Well, keep going. I'm asking him to change his ways. Tickle, tickle. What if some of those noises came from the karate lessons that he took, right? You know? Can't you see this? Okay, so here's his sensei. Oh, Michael-san. You walk across. Hot, cold, barefooted. All right, sensei. I can do this. I can beat it. Ooh, ah! Ooh, ah! Ooh, ah, ah! Man, oh man. Oh, Michael. You know, Michael uses words that I've never heard anybody use before, and I just think it's awesome, okay? Like shalom. I've never heard anybody, have you heard anybody say like shalom? Like, shalom, shalom. I thought it would be awesome, Jonathan, for the next message that you do. I think it'll be great. Like right at the end of the service, be like, all right, dear friends, we're so glad that you came today. If you want to give your life to Christ, you can do so right here at the altar. Just shalom! Shalom down to the altar. I have a feeling he's going to do that. It's like the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning, yes.
We have had so much fun on this edition of Light Talk. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself. I know it was heavier than usual, but hopefully your spirits have been lifted. Hopefully you've been entertained, but you've also been encouraged. I know that death is never an easy subject. I was at death's door just, 5 years ago, in 2015, when all of my major organs were shutting down in the hospital, and nobody knew what was going on. And then they found out that it was cancer, and it was stage 4. So they didn't know if I would make it. They didn't know if it would be 6 months, 6 days, 6 hours. But my prayer was, Lord, if you give me the opportunity to be here, I will serve you any way that you want me to. And here I am, hosting this show. So I'm very thankful for it. And I've lost a lot of people along the way. A lot of people I was connected to through cancer. Because those of you who are watching right now that are battling cancer, you know exactly what I mean. They are friends of yours, they are family members of yours that they may be suffering, they may have already passed on. But the one thing that God showed me through it all was that we can have joy in the middle of the storm, and we can also let those who have gone on before us live through us. We can let their legacy live on by just taking one little thing. Maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's a smile. Maybe it's the way that you fidget your hands, your fingers, your toes. And someone asks, hey, why do you do that? And you say, well, there was someone really great before who did the exact same thing. And so you're able to tell about that person and let their legacy continue to live on. So I'm your host, Sam Beman. We thank you so much for watching. Take care, and God bless.